somewhere far away. I want you back. I want.
Good morning, traders. How we all doing this morning? Happy Friday, team. Woo! I'm excited to be here. How about you guys? Good morning and happy Friday. It is April 1st, and I already joked with everybody on TikTok this morning. I'm not going to joke with you guys because I know most of you would probably come find me, beat me up, and say, never joke like that again. It's not funny. That's a serious claim. Don't even mess with me right now. But happy April Fools, guys. No April Fools jokes around here. I was going to hit you with some this morning and start to freak you guys out a little bit, but I'm not going to do that. But good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is April 1st, and this is a brand new month, guys, right? So I would say next Monday, it's a brand new day and a brand new week and a brand new month full of brand new opportunities. I would say that today, but it's Friday, right? It's Friday. If it was Money Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, absolutely. But Friday, we know there's lack of news, right? We know there's lack of volume, lack of activity in the market. But again, it's a brand new month full of brand new opportunities. And I want to carry that momentum from March into April. Do exactly what you guys were doing, right? Keep it up. Get prepared. Build your plans. Assess your levels. Accept your risk. Put on these trades. Lock in those consistent profits and keep doing what you guys were doing for the month of March, for the month of April. Carry that momentum over, all right, guys? And let's see an even better April than what we saw there in March. So again, welcome to April. It is a brand new month full of brand new opportunities, but I'll be more excited for the start of the month come Money Monday when we should see more press releases, more volume, and more action. But right now, today, guys, it's not too shabby. We got a couple back burner stocks that could rip and run. We have LGVN right now that is the #1 stock at this point in time, up from 12 bucks all the way to 16.38. There is some action. There is some opportunity in the market today, team. All right, but what do? We come in, we find the opportunity. We identify it. We get prepared. We look for those great opportunities and those great setups. We take those profits, we lock them in, and we enjoy our weekends because we know 10:30, 11 o'clock, things become very messy. Things slow down. They're not as consistent. Volume leaves, attention leaves the market, and so do we. So again, come in, get prepared. Let's find those opportunities, and let's make it happen, and let's end the week on a strong note, and let's start April 1st with some profits, baby. Let's do it. I'm excited. So hit me with a big old good morning. Who do we have inside of chat today? We got Arlene. Hello, Arlene. Nick, Catherine, Addie, Dougie, Fresh. What's up, buddy? Steve, J. Cohen, Adam, Steve, J. Doss, AJ Trends. What's up? Jakey, Lakey, Corey. Woo, man. It's getting to the point where I cannot read off all of the names in chat in one breath without... And good morning to everybody else if I didn't say your name. So Esther, what's up? Good morning. Kits King. My goodness, how are we all doing today? I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday morning. I hope you guys had a great Thursday night. Inside the chat, it looks like you guys did. Again, we had some great profits in profits chat yesterday. We had Corey with some great profits, Addie with some great profits, Dantino and Mr. Nick, Red and Green and Winston and Chris locking in some great profits. And a lot of those great profits into the day was LGVN. I mean, what an exceptional trade, guys. From seeing the potential it had, getting prepared, building a plan, seeing that break in that retest, just flowing and setting up beautifully, and you guys locking in $1, $2, $3 a share. I mean, our biggest profit yesterday inside of profit chat from what I see right now was Mr. Nick. All right, so Mr. Nick was our top trader yesterday with the biggest profits. Mr. Nick locked in $1,597.39 on his LGVN trade. So Nick, congratulations. That's a big time profit to lock in all in one day. So good job. Way to end the month strong. And let's carry that momentum into this month. Keep up the amazing work, team. And let's make it happen. And let's see everybody posting up some big time profits like everybody inside of Profits Chat. So way to go, man. Congratulations. That was a great trade. And everybody keep up the great work. Even if you didn't take the trade, you learned the trade, right? The break, the retest. Decreasing volume, stops go below the retest low. You're looking for an immediate follow through with volume. Again, it was such a great trade. building the plan ahead of time, seeing it work out, getting the entries, managing the trade in real time, minute by minute by minute. So again, if you were in the trade, I know you definitely learned and you locked in some great profits. If you didn't take the trade, I really hope you guys were paying attention, taking notes, and just listening. The trade, the setup, the building of the plan, the stops, the targets, locking up 25%, bringing stops to break even. Again, just really breaking down that trade and managing that trade in real time very thoroughly. So I hope you guys were able to learn from that trade. So the next time we see something similar, you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll, ready to make it happen. I know I'm talking a lot right now. I'm excited to be here. I'm fired up this morning, and I'm very, very stoked on how we ended March. March Madness, baby, in the books. And it was a great March. But with April comes April showers. I've said this 5 times, I'll say it again. And it's gonna be raining with some profits inside of chat this month. So let's make it happen, team. It's a pretty easy day. It's a pretty simple day. LGVN is our #1 stock that we're gonna be watching at this point in time, guys. LGVN. We hit a low in pre-market, 12 bucks. We hit a high of 16.38 LGVN. All right, the stock closed at 13.80. We're currently gapping up about $2 per share here on LGVN. So at this point in time, this is the #1 stock that I want to be paying close attention to right out of the gates. In my opinion, this is where 70%, 80% of the focus is right now with penny stocks. So if we know that 80% of traders right now are looking at LGVN, that means we need to be looking at LGVN as well. We have some light support right around 15 to 15.24. Below that 15.24 and cracking below 15, you have some room back down towards around 14.45 here on LGVN. And if we start cracking below that 14.45, I would say we can come as low as $14. And we really, really, really want to see LGVN ideally hold above that $14 level. See some support set in, get a nice move higher, right? If we do indeed crack these levels of support and move lower, I would say no lower than $14. That would still show some strength, and we could see some great action to the upside today. So let's definitely keep it on high watch, guys. 15.24, light support at this time. You do have some good support at 15 bucks. It's a psychological, natural level of support. If you start cracking below 15, you can come all the way back down to 14.45. And below 14.45, all the way back down towards around 14 bucks. Top resistance, 16.38 at this point in time, right? So if we break over 16.38, where can we see this go? You got a slight little gap to be filled here on the daily chart, right? So you came right up into the start of the gap fill. If we break that pre-market high, we could start to see the gap filled, and you would have some room towards around $16.90. And then anything over 16.90, we have room up to 17.68. And then 18.21 on LGVN. So at least we have some very clean, clear-cut targets, clean levels of support. Now we just need to sit back and wait to see where the stock's going to come down to, right? We're losing that momentum. We're losing some juice. We can see that with the RSI as well, that we're just kind of pulling back and consolidating, very, very overbought. We can see visually looking at the chart and then looking at the RSI, we're definitely losing some momentum, and we could definitely start to see it roll on over, and it should pull back. It needs more of a pullback than what we've seen. I'd like to see it back down at that 14 to 14.45, establish some kind of support, and then set up for a nice big rip and run back up to those pre-market highs. But at the moment, at this point in time, the #1 stock that we will be watching right at 9:30 will be LGVN. Right, we do have HUSN currently up. It's #4 on the leaderboard. It's up 28%. It's trading 4 million shares. On average, it trades 700,000, and the float's 4 million in float. So we know this stock could rip and it could run. So what's going on with HUSN? Why is it even gapping up this morning? Right. So this morning, Hudson Capital, HUSN shares are trading higher after the company announced it sold its wholly owned subsidiary, Hong Kong Internet Financial Services, to private investors. So we do have a catalyst. We do have that press release. We have good volume. It's a nice low float stock. It's just not holding on up here in pre-market, right? We had 261 support. We're at 250. We're just not bouncing. We're not even attempting to bounce. We're not even showing any kind of an attempt to hold on up and set up to move higher. So right now at this point in time, it's not the best looking stock, right? LGVN, looks 10 times better. But we should still watch HUSN because it does have a press release. It has very good volume. It is gapping up 30% still at this point in time, and it's a nice low float stock, and this stock could definitely rip and run a little bit. Support right now, I would throw you back down towards around like 230 here on HUSN. So again, support, I would say back down towards around this 230 to 232 level. Current resistance is going to be 262. Not only the first spiking high here in pre-market, not that pre-market low, and not that previous resistance that we just tested, right? It's also the 200-day moving average on the daily chart, right at 262. So you have that daily resistance, and you have all of this pre-market resistance right around 262. If we can indeed start breaking and holding back above 262, that's when we could see this thing push back up to those pre-market highs of 295. So support 230 to 232. Current resistance 262. If we start breaking over that 262, we could see it back up towards around 295 to $3 on HUSN. But right now, it just doesn't look that great. We definitely have some better opportunity right out of the gate, guys. All right, what's up with BLBX at this point in time? So BLBX, I think it was earnings. Shares rise on Q4 revenue. Shares were up 43% after new memberships raise Q4 revenue, BLBX. Now, BLBX is another low float stock trading really, really good volume, but it's not even trying to hold on up. It's not bouncing. It's not doing anything. It's just slowly fading on down, not really doing all that much. But we should keep it on watch above 340. Why 340? Post-market resistance, new support, number one. Number two, look at your daily chart. Where is the 200-day moving average? $3.40. That's one of the strongest levels of support and resistance when looking at the daily chart. So we do have 340 as support. That's the 200 SMA. And we do have some of those pre-market highs. I'm sorry, not pre-market, post-market. So last night's post-market highs were right at that 340, right? 340, 340, 340. We saw clear resistance, right? We came down here this morning at 842. We bounced at 340. So not only do we have prior resistance as new support, we also have the 200 SMA, right? So as long as we hold above 340 on BLBX, we could see some action today on BLBX. We might see a little bit of action here today. We could see it back up towards around, I'd say those lows at 368. Obviously, the VWAP is a level that you got to be mindful of. And then really, if you know you're breaking over 368 in the VWAP, you have room to fall right around that prior high at 407, and then back up to those pre-market highs in the 480s here on BLBX. So again, it has the news, right? It's a nice low flow stock. It has great volume. It is technically above the 200 SMA on the daily chart. We are holding above those post-market resistance highs of 340. So as long as BLBX stays above 340, we could see it pop back up to 368 into that VWAP, and then possibly back up towards around $4 on BLBX. But those are the only two stocks that I've noticed that are trading good volume. Nice low float stocks. They have press releases, right? SGBX is something that I didn't notice. I'm noticing it now. SGBX. SGBX. So what's up here? 9 o'clock press release, it looks like. Shares are trading higher after the company announced SG Echo, a subsidiary of SG Blocks, SGBX, has broadened its relationship with a private client, which is producing the company's largest contract to date, right? So we announced a purchase order for over 100 units to generate over $6 million of revenue. And they also have a relationship with a private client, which is producing the company's largest contract to date. So we do have some decent news here with SGBX. SGBX is another low float stock. It's 9 million in float. It's trading good volume, 1.5 million shares on average, 207. It's currently up 22%. I would say your top target today on SGBX, if this is the stock that really gets that hype and gets that attention, is going to be your 200 SMA right there at $3. But first things first, we need to break over this daily resistance of 247 to 250. So breaking and holding above that 250 level, we definitely have some potential up towards around 267. that spiking high of 282, and then that 200-day moving average right there around $3. Support right now, decent, right around 225. You see a lot of that daily resistance at 225, and we did come down and we bounced off 225 this morning. So I'd say 225 is decent support. If you start cracking below 225, you could probably see it come down towards around 210 on SGVX. But holding above that 225, breaking and retesting and staying above 250, that's where we could see some decent volume move in, pushing it up to 267, 282, and then possibly $3 here on SGBX. Right, so these are the stocks with news that have potential, but they don't look the best in pre-market. SGBX, low float, good news, good volume, right? Definitely keep it on watch, but again, visually, it doesn't look the best right now, but it is something we will watch. BLBX, news, volume, low float, meeting that criteria. Let's definitely keep BLBX on watch above that 340, back up to 368, and then $4. That's a stock that has some potential today. HUSN, same thing, news, good volume, low float stock. It could rip and run today. It could be a top gaining stock, but right now, visually, doesn't look all that great. Breaking and holding back above 261, we have some great potential back up to high a day. Bottom support right now at this point in time, 232. All right, top stock that we should be watching right out of the gate, guys. This has 70 to 80% of the attention, the focus, and the volume right now in pre-market. LGVN, number one stock that we're going to be watching right out of the gates. Two back burners today, guys. I got two back burners just to keep on watch to see if these stocks do indeed start moving again today. We have FRGE on watch, right? Bottom support, 31.57. Current support, 33.84. So if we open, we see volume, we're staying above 33.84. We could see a nice little rip today on FRGE. We saw a really nice 9 EMA VWAP squeeze on FRGE yesterday, and this stock ripped into a new all-time high of 47.50. We could see some great action once again today. So current support, decent support right around yesterday's close is going to be that 33.88. Below 33.88, we have potential to fall back down towards around yesterday's lows of 31.57. Breaking back above $37 today on FRGE, we could see this rip back up into $44 resistance. So definitely want to keep it on watch. There's literally no volume right now in pre-market. That's why it's a back burner stock. If we see all of these other stocks fade and fall and lose the attention, and we see that shift from one stock to possibly FRGE, that's when we want to get interested. That's when we want to see if there's opportunity and get prepared to lock in some profits. But again, right now, there's no reason to be jumping on in. There's no reason to be trading this stock at this point in time. There's literally no volume. It may dump on off today. It could have another big red day. We don't know. But if it does get the volume, if we do have some focus and attention and activity with FRGE, we know that this stock could rip big. I mean, literally, it ripped from 33.84 to 47.50 within 20 minutes yesterday. We know the stock could rip and run. We definitely want to keep it on high watch just in case it starts to get that attention and starts to get that volume. Right now, FRGE, back burner. And then last but not least, IGMS, right? There's a couple reasons I want to watch IGMS. We all know I like the news on IGMS, right? Number two, I like the mid-candle breakout formation. Now, it didn't get that full-blown mid-candle breakout yesterday, but we didn't dump on off, right? We're still actually closing inside that prior day. So it's getting tight, 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 tight. Still could see a possible mid-candle breakout formation on IGMS. That's number one. Number two, I like the news. Number three, it's a low float stock that's already ripped $15 plus this week. Number four, if we do start ripping back above that $35 level, we have a big gap to fill at $45. Number five, right? There's a lot of reasons. Number five, high short interest. Now again, as of March 15th, it was 53% of the float was short. So it was about 4.5 million shares out of the 8 million shares available that were short, right? We had a huge day there on Tuesday. The way I look at it is a lot of those shorts probably got squeezed out because that was a pretty aggressive move, right? The stock went from 25 to 35 within like 10 minutes. So the way I look at it from a technical perspective is I would say that a lot of those shorts we're probably squeezed out on Tuesday. But what if there were more shorts jumping on in? That's something to think about. What if it wasn't all of those shorts? We don't really have real-time data on IGMS. Is it still 53%? Was that just a big-time aggressive move from buyers and the shorts are still holding? Did more shorts enter? What's the new short percentage? Again, it's just something to think about. And when we're thinking about stocks that are heavily shorted, stocks that could have been shorted Wednesday, Thursday, leading into Friday, what do we sometimes see with penny stocks on Fridays? Sometimes we see Friday short squeezes, right? We have a big time runner on Tuesday, traders are shorting it Wednesday through Thursday, or we see a big time ripper on Wednesday, it dumps on off Thursday, we have traders shorting it. A lot of traders do not want to hold short positions over the weekend. There are some brokers that will not allow you to hold a short position over the weekend. It's rare, but there are a few of them out there that will not let you hold a short over the weekend, or they make you have different margin requirements and different equity requirements. But for the big part, the biggest thing to think of is, traders don't like holding shorts over the weekend, right? Anything could happen. Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, news could drop, anything could happen. It's risky. So every now and then we do see traders covering short positions on Fridays, and every now and then, it's rare. We haven't seen it in a good amount of time, but it's just something to be mindful of because the stock was heavily shorted based on that data we had from March 15th. It could still be heavily shorted, but even if it's not, it's still a stock that has a mid-candle breakout formation, right? Traders are still looking at this stock. It is a stock that had really, really good news. I do want to keep it on watch from a technical perspective. I like the news. Maybe it rips and runs today, but also thinking if it does start really squeezing and ripping, maybe we see a little bit of a Friday short squeeze and we could see this thing really take on off. That's not me saying buy the stock right now because it's going to go to 45 bucks. It's me saying, hey, we have a lot of data in front of us. There's a lot of things to be mindful about when it comes to IGMS. We have that daily formation. We have that good news. It could still be heavily shorted. Friday short squeeze could play a factor here. It's a stock that you guys should definitely keep on watch today and keep it on your radar because if we start breaking back above 30, this thing could really start taking on off. So I'm still watching IGMS as one of my top back burner plays at this point in time just to see if the stock does indeed get that activity, get that volume, and possibly go on a nice move today. All right. So again, that's my top back burner stock at this point in time. Number 2, FRGE on the back burner, HUSN back burner, BLBX back burner, SGBX back burner. Top stock that I want to watch today, LGVN, guys. LGVN. And I forgot to mention IMTE. All right. We will watch IMTE. IMTE is just a really random stock. I mean, it barely moves up on volume, but it freaking moves. I mean, yesterday went from $18 to $33 on like 3 million shares, right? So again, before that, it was trading like 900,000 shares, 200,000 shares, 200,000 shares, 400,000 shares, still making some pretty good moves. And then yesterday, 3.4 million shares from a low of 16, what was that, 17 bucks, all the way up to a high of 33.29. Now, this stock is really overextended, but it still has a lot of momentum and it's building up some volume. And yesterday was the biggest day that we've seen so far. I'm curious to see if this stock has more juice in it, right? I don't really want to trade it because it's so overextended. If anything, I want to short this stock. If we start cracking below some key levels and we start seeing the first red day forming, I would love to short IMTE. But at the same time, it's a little risky because there's so much buying pressure on the stock and the move could not be done yet. We could see it at 35, 40, 50. I would hate to short the stock and just get squeezed out. But if we start to see an indication of this is starting to look like a good short, if I can locate some shorts on IMTE, I would definitely consider shorting this stock for a big dump on back down to reality. But again, as long as there's buying pressure, as long as there's attention and focus and the stock still looks decent to the upside and we just have that buying pressure, it still should be a stock that's on watch because again, it's making some pretty big moves. Again, yesterday it ran over $15 to the upside. All right, guys. So that's another back burner stock that I would like to keep on watch for today. GameStop and AMC, Nick, absolutely. They should be on the back burners as well. GameStop announcing a possible stock split. So GameStop yesterday from 165 to 203, consolidating sideways. We definitely have some potential today here on GameStop. All right, so top resistance back up around 200. All right, current support You know, maybe back down towards around Wednesday's spiking high of 183.28. Maybe you got that little level of support here. I mean, yeah, I would say like 183.28 maybe would be a decent level to see this hold above. But if it ever breaks and holds over 200 bucks, that could be a trade on its own. Simple break and retest. We do have potential to 209 on GameStop. So a little bit of a back burner, right? If nothing else is working out, nothing else is setting on up, and we see that activity and that attention with GameStop, we'll definitely shift our attention on over to GameStop and then AMC. Because we know if GameStop starts ripping, AMC could start ripping. BlackBerry could start ripping. KOSS could start ripping. NEGG could start ripping, right? So again, GameStop gapping up pretty big on the talks about the stock split. So if GameStop rips, AMC could, KOSS could, NEGG, BlackBerry, some of these other meme stocks could move in sympathy with GameStop as well. All right, guys. So GameStop, AMC, back burners. And with that being said, I mean, we got a pretty good day ahead, guys, right? We have some great stocks to watch. We have a decent watch list, but really starting our day, it's simple. LGVN at this point in time is the one stock that we should really put most of our focus on right at 9:30, guys. All right, so we got about 2 minutes and 26 seconds to go. Let's get fired up, guys. Let's get prepared. Let's have an awesome day. Let's end the week on a strong and profitable note. And let's also start April on a strong and profitable note as well. Kamal, good morning. Chris, what's up, buddy? Good morning. AJ, what's up? Big B, good morning. Good morning, good morning. And then, can't forget about the YouTubers. We always got Joey over on YouTube. We got Eric, Daniel, what's up? Cody, Jay, Felipe, what's up? Where's Mutaz? No Mutaz today. I don't get to hit him with a Mutaz. What's up, what's up? Eric, Matt, Scott, Jason, David, Michael, Don, Jay, Cody. What's up, traders? Good morning. Happy Friday. Let's have some fun, guys. Let's find some opportunity in the first 15 minutes. Let's see if we can get you guys a nice little quick win, right? To start your Friday off great, to end your week great, to start your April great as well, guys. But if we don't see A-plus setups, A-plus opportunities, I'm not going to put my name behind a bad trade just to get you a quick win. You guys know me. If I see something and I like it and I'm going to trade it, I'm going to call it out. I want you guys to be able to trade it and make some money as well. But sometimes we don't see great opportunities in the first 15 minutes, and I'm not going to put my name behind a trade just to get you involved, just to have you taking a loss, right? So every now and then, we get those quick wins in the morning. You're able to find a great setup, take a trade, lock in some great profits. That's what it's all about. But the most part, come in, get prepared, get that education and that value, figure out what's moving today, why it's moving, and where our focus is to get, again, prepared for a great trading day. But if we can get those quick wins, let's get those quick wins, team. Alrighty, so right now at this point in time, we are all set, ready to rock, ready to roll. LGVN is the #1 stock to watch at this point in time, guys. LGVN, #1 stock to watch. The market will be open in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ring, ding, 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 ding. The market's open. Let's have some fun, guys. Again, we could see the washout long to 15, which we just did. Okay. Well, that happened so fast. I was actually looking to get a washout long right there at that $15 level. I even had an order typed up ready to go. All right, so that was the quickest washout long I think I've ever seen in my trading career. But we'll sit back and wait. Right to 15 bucks. That sucks. But we're good, guys. We are good to go. As you guys can see, I have no trades right now on the day. I am tradeless. And honestly, you may not really see me trade today. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I guess they say after you get your tonsils and adenoids taken out, that day 5 to 7, you may experience severe ear pain. She's experiencing severe ear pain. Like, she did not eat anything yesterday. She did not drink anything yesterday. She could not swallow even her saliva. It was bad. And she could not sleep. She was up all night. So again, I may not trade today, because I'm not really with it 100%. Just to give you a nice little heads up. So again, I have no trades. If I take a trade, I call it out. I let you guys know. But yeah, you know, we're not going to touch it right now. Washout long at 15 was a good washout long for a scalp. But right now, we're definitely not touching it at this point in time. I need to rearrange my broker real quick. Give me 1 second. I need to pull that over there. I made some changes to my layout last night, and it's throwing me off. My OCD is messing with me big time right now. All right, we're good. So I would say, you know, another little washout long. Not a washout, but a dip buy. You know, we can get a nice little dip buy down towards around 1439 on LGVN. Halt level to the downside right now, guys, is 1419. So 1419 is the current halt level. If we do drop below $15 and we dump on off to 1439, I am going to take this for a dip buy on LGVN. And if I see like 1420, 1425 on the bid, that would be where I cut it. And I'd be looking for a nice little, probably 60-cent bounce, 50-cent bounce off of the dip buy with LGVN. All right, so let's definitely still keep this one on watch, guys. High watch at this point in time. That level that we're looking to catch a dip buy off of is right around yesterday's spiking high. Yesterday's spiking high, 1425. But we do see this decent little dip buy level from pre-market, 1439. So we have a decent little level for a dip buy with very tight stops. And again, the stock is moving 50 cents at a time. So it's safe to say we could probably grab ourselves about 50 cents plus if we nail a dip buy on LGVN. All right. So right now it's really trying to hold that 1524 on up. I still don't trust it. It's a very low float stock. It's a volatile stock. Last thing I want to do is say, oh, it's going to hold 1524 and it dump on down and give me a dip buy, right? I'd rather take the dip buy because you're buying it right off support after the stock's already dumped. And when a stock dumps like that, very fast, very aggressively to the downside into that level of support, you do see those bounces, right? I'd rather be a dip buyer right now out of the gate versus trying to buy it right here, hoping it gets a new high a day. I can't see myself buying it right here because it just seems to be a little too risky at this point in time. I hope it breaks out. I want it to break out. I want it to rip and run. But what I would do is I'd wait for the breakout to actually take place and look for a nice retest trade versus trying to chase this for a breakout, you know, 4 minutes into the start of the day. So SGBX above 225 isn't terrible. BLBX was 340 back up to 368. I mean, you opened and pushed literally just right up to that level. HUSN has potential to fade and fall down to 230. Again, we are going to watch IMTE, but it's a big spread stock, very risky. FRGE is another back burner. And IGMS, a little bit of a back burner as well. I mean, this stock breaking above 28.34 is where I start to get, you know, interested with IGMS. So right now, I am expecting to see LGVN dump on off, and I'd love to catch a 1439 dip buy. Halt level right now to the downside is still 1419. So you guys know, I'm calling it out. What I'm going to do, take about 2,500 shares right at 1439 and 1420. So I'm going to put an order. I'm going to put some orders between 1420 and 1440. And if I get a nice fill for that dip buy, get a nice cost basis, we're looking for a bounce back up to 15. If we get that nice dip buy right around 1420 to 1440, and I'd probably risk about 15 to 20 cents, right? If we do not bounce off the dip buy, if it doesn't pop on up, and I see the bid at like 14.10, that's where I start cutting it for about a 10 to 15 cent loss, maybe 20. But we do know we could see a nice little 50 to 60 cent pop on up. So again, the risk to reward is there, and it's definitely something I want to do. Is I love dip buys. You guys know that I love dip buys. So again, I am looking for this to dump on down below 15, crash like a rug pull move, right? Like when the rug gets pulled and those stocks just drop fast and quick and hard. That's the type of aggressiveness I want to see for the dip buy on LGVN. But again, if it doesn't give me a dip buy, I will wait for a break and a hold over resistance. Like yesterday, right? It's under resistance. I'm like, why are we touching it under resistance, right? If you guys were buying it under resistance, that first break was a false break. You would have got stopped out for a necessary loss. The second break was a break and a retest, and that was a solid trade. The last thing I want to do is jump in right when the stock breaks and then get caught up in one big nasty fake out breakout and it dumps on you, right? So again, we're looking for the strong breaks, right? A strong break, it's proving itself that it's going to hold on up. Come back down and retest, right? And then look for the entry once it's proven itself. If you guys were trading that for a breakout, look, you're already down. You're already down. What, 50 cents a share? This is why we don't chase breakouts. We wait for the breakout to take place, right? We wait for the confirmation. We show strength. We see strength. And then we buy the dip. And we buy the retracement. We buy the pullback. We buy the retest. We're not chasing stocks over high a day. We're not chasing breakouts because stocks right now are not breaking and ripping and running. They'll break. They'll show some strength. They'll pull back down and retest. Then they'll rip and run. But on the first attempt to break, it's not like they rip and run consistently. So dip buys on the table, guys. 1439 dip buy. This candle needs to hit that level for the dip buy. This candle right here needs to hit 1439 for me to get a dip buy. Halt level right now is 1421. I'd like to see this dump on off another 50 cents. Again, 1439. But you want to see it just dump on off. Very fast, very hard, very aggressively, right down to that 1439. There's 1470. It's trying to bounce around 15 a little bit. You got about 8 seconds left on this candle, so the next candle would have to open and dump, or I'm probably not going to take it because it would be too slow and steady into that support level. So if this candle doesn't just dump to that 1439 level, it wouldn't be a dip buy. If it's slow and steady, right, into that level of support, that's not a dip buy. That's more or less going to be a possible reversal, right? So if it's very quick, very fast, and it just dumps on off, those are dip buys. If they're slow and steady into those levels, those are going to be more or less reversals, and you trade them differently. Right now I'm on a 1 minute time frame, guys. I'm on a 1 minute time frame. I trade 1 minute out of the gate. When you're about 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in, it really depends. I'll start going to like a 3 minute. I'll switch between a 1 and a 3. Typically after like noon, I'll go 3 minute to a 5 minute time frame, but it depends, right? If the stock is really volatile and it's really moving, I may see things better on a 1 minute time frame. But if the stock's slower and steadier, and it's not really moving as aggressively, and it just seems too choppy on a 1 minute, I'll go to a 3 or a 5 minute time frame. But if the stock is moving aggressively, sometimes I'll really dive into that 1 minute time frame and look for those really nice little setups there. So I just don't want to take my attention off LGVN right now, because the second I take my attention off LGVN is the second I come back in 2 minutes and see that it was a dip buy and we missed that position. So right now, this could be a nice little two-legged pullback, right? Dumped on off, two-legged pullback into resistance, followed by another dump on off. Halt level right now to the downside is 1407. 1407. But I would say that 1420 to 1440 is not a bad little dip buy level, and these are very quick trades. These are 5 to 10 second trades. We scalp them. What I normally do is I go 3,000 shares, right? 2 to 3,000 shares on the dip buys. Depends on the price of the stock. The second it bounces, I lock in half my profit. And then what I do is I scale out on the rest, just in case it's a full-blown dip followed by a big rebound. Because every now and then the stock will come down for a dip buy, it'll pop up, and it'll just blast on off. And I still want to have something on the table just in case it blasts on off. So typically I'll double up my position sizing. I'll take half my position for that quick, 30, 40 cents, and then hold the rest if it does blast on off, if it does follow through. But if it doesn't, my stop's at break even on that other half, and I still make good profits because I'm doubling up my size for those potential dip buys. So I'd probably take about 2 to 3,000 shares here on LGVN for the dip buy, lock in half if it bounces, and we're all set. So this candle needs to dump to that 1440-ish level. If it doesn't, I'm probably not looking for a dip buy anymore. And you got about 40 seconds left on this candle. I don't think it's going to happen. To me, it just doesn't look like it's going to get that crack and that dump into that level. So we may take a step back from the dip buy idea and just wait for it to present another opportunity for a trade, because right now it's just not getting that big volatile dump. I really wanted to see it within the first 2 candles after it cracked and falsely broke high a day. I was hoping to see it right here in the first couple of candles, but right now it's just too slow and steady. I don't think it's a good dip buy. So let's go look at something else. SGBX, 225 support, 247 top resistance. So you could have traded that between 225 and that 247 level on SGBX. If we break and hold over that 247 to 250, your next target's going to be 267, 282. And then $3 on SGBX. CSSE is starting to get some action, guys. CSSE, chicken soup for the soul. Entertainment Crackle announces new exclusive movies and series for April. So we do have CSSE, low float stock. Really good volume out of the gate, guys. Really good volume. Gapping up, holding above that 50 SMA. CSSE right now, not looking all that bad. We could see this up towards around 1188 on CSSE. So let's watch CSSE as well. But still at this point in time, LGVN is the stock that has most of the focus, most of the attention. You do have some attention over on SGBX, but we still need to sit back and just relax and wait for that thing to really set on up. And now we do have CSSE, but that was a pretty big rejection off high a day there. So be careful on CSSE. Still watch it. Let's see if it sets on up. If it does, we have some opportunity. If not, we're still just watching LGVN at this point in time. Honestly, 1420 is a better dip buy. I know I said like 1440, 1439, but honestly, I would say 1420 is better. That was yesterday's spiking high. And it's also right around that lower shadow, right? From that little pullback level. We call those stalls or hiccups, where the stock is in an uptrend. Quick hiccup, it continues, right? These are little hiccup candles. So that hiccup candle right there at 1420 is right at yesterday's spiking high. So I would say a 1420 dip buy is more realistic. I could be wrong. It could bounce off 1440. I could miss the trade. But I would rather get a much lower entry, right? 3,000 shares at 20 cents is 600 bucks. I'd rather build a plan around buying this around that 1420 versus that 1440, because again, that 20 cents on 3,000 shares is, again, it's $600. Just in case it does come down to that 1420. So if I miss it, I miss it. But if I get the 1420 dip buy, that's the dip buy that I would like to take here on LGVN, right around that 1420. And the halt level right now is 1349. So we have plenty of room here on LGVN. So right now you do have some crypto related stocks up, DNN, BTCM currently up. You do have some cannabis related stocks up. You got OGI, Tilray, CGC. So I mean, you do have, you know, 5%, 4% on some of these crypto stocks and some of these pot related stocks. But right now, guys, I see some opportunity coming on up here with LGVN for that 1420-ish dip buy. Right, I would say between like 1416 and 1420. That's right off yesterday's highs. And it's pretty simple. You know, if we start to see it dropping below 14, or we see the bids in the low 14s, that's where I cut it and I get out. But this may be the candle that gives us our entry here on LGVN, guys. So right now, high watch, LGVN, 1416 to 1420. I think we'd get about 40, 50, 60 cents out of it off a dip. All right, that's the pop. That's the move I would expect to see, maybe 40 to 60 cents. And depending on entry, you're talking like maybe 15 cents of risk at most. But we need to see it just dump on off. Just boop, dump, just drop. Drop it like it's hot. Just all the way down. Quick, fast, aggressive. Just. I know some of these Chinese stocks are up. I heard this morning that China is going to allow us to look at their fundamentals and financials and audits and stuff like that. So yeah, I know some of those Chinese related stocks like BABA is currently up 7 points, right? BABA is currently up a little bit. DIDA is up a little bit right now as well on DD. What's DIDI up? That stock is up right now a little bit. It's up about 50 cents a share right now. Not a fan of it. Not a fan. Quick pop, double top, fading on back down. Support, 290. 290 to 292 support. Top resistance is that 20 EMA, or right around high a day of 225 on DIDI. FRGE starting to get a little bit of a bounce here, guys. So let's watch FRGE at this point in time. We know that when this stock moves very quick, very fast, very aggressively. Over 37, 37.50 is where we could really start to see this thing take on off on FRGE. So if you guys were waiting for the break and retest on SGBX, that trade may be coming on up right now, right? So you just broke on great volume SGBX. You have that 247 to 250 resistance, new support. So again, you want to see about 2 to 3 candles on the pullback. Remember yesterday? Nice clean break on high volume. We see a nice clean break on increased volume. 2 to 3 candles pulling back on decreased volume into that prior level of resistance as new support. You see it hold above and close above and it's decreased volume. That's when you start considering taking a trade for that next candle to follow through and continue the move to the upside. And stops would be below the pullback low. So again, you ideally want to get 2 to 3 candles pulling back on decreased volume for the retest. Make sure it holds. And if it does, that's when you start looking for that entry for that rebound, for that move higher. Again, I have no trades right now, guys. I have 0 trades right now. There's nothing that I really see that I want to jump in on, right? If I jump in on FRGE right now, I feel like I'm gambling. I just feel like I'm gambling. I'm not here to gamble. We haven't really saw a dip buy opportunity yet on LGVN, but it could still set up on LGVN. And that's still something that I am considering to take if we do just dump on off towards around that 1416, 1420 level. But right now, it's not really just getting that big aggressive drop the way I'd want to see it to be able to take any kind of dip buy on LGVN. So we're still sitting back waiting to see if this one sets on up. Right now, it's still below that 1520 level of resistance. Cannot get back above. If it does and it holds, then we have some opportunity back up towards around high a day. But right now, while it's underneath resistance, I would not touch it because we still have potential to pull back to that 1416, 1420 level. Catherine, yes, Fridays do suck most of the time. Now, some Fridays are freaking on fire. Some Fridays are amazing, right? But this Friday doesn't look all that good. This Friday's not the best, is it? But we just need to wait. We just need to see some good opportunity. I mean, we're only about, what, 22 minutes into the day, guys. That's it. We're 22 minutes into the day. And again, sometimes good trades come at 10, 10:30, right? You never know. But right now we're sitting back, being patient. The last thing we want to do is start April red. The last thing we want to do is end the week red, right? I would rather have 0 trades today than a red trade. So I have to be really convinced and really just confident this is the trade. And if I don't see what I want to see to get involved, I'd rather not trade at all and at least start the month at 0 versus red. That's my mindset right now. So again, I'm sitting on my hands. I've seen nothing I like. I'm just gonna sit here right now and my hands will probably turn purple, guys. Probably turn purple. Hey, why don't you just go ahead and get in the chat, Blake? Like, why don't you just get in the chat? Like, why are you just on TikTok? I mean, you're in chat. Like, come on, what are you doing right now? All right, guys, I always forget to shut down at 9:45. So you got an extra 7 minutes on YouTube. So again, right now, guys, the market, there's stuff moving, right? There's stuff moving. But just because the stock's moving doesn't mean it's a trade. All right, hold on. We got LGVN maybe for the dip buy, guys. LGVN maybe for the dip buy. But again, just because the stock's moving doesn't make it a good trade. So there's stuff moving, but there's no great trades. We need to sit back and wait for a great trade to present itself. And if it does, let's make some money, right? Let's lock in some profits. If it doesn't, let's just go ahead and end the week and start the month off neutral, right? No big green trades, no losses, right? And just come back Monday and see if there's better opportunity on Monday, right? We'll still give us some time. Maybe something sets on up. But right now at this point in time, guys, sit back, be patient, relax, and just wait for a trade to present itself. And once you see the trade presenting itself and you notice there's opportunity, take the time and build your plan, right? Get prepared, build your plan. That's going to allow you to not hesitate on the trade. That's going to allow you to be fearless, emotionless. You're going to be calm, cool, collected. Think of LGVN yesterday, right? LGVN yesterday, how calm and cool were you on that trade, right? Little risk, great reward, fantastic setup. We were prepared. We didn't hesitate. We didn't trade with fear or emotions. We took the trade. We had a stop. If we would have gotten stopped out, so be it. Move on. The trade worked out. We managed it beautifully, calm, cool, collected, with no emotions. That's what we want to do every single day. LGVN, the way we took the trade, the opportunity it was, and how we managed that trade. That's what we want to do consistently on every single trade, every single day. So let's look for those LGVN setups. Let's look for those LGVN types of trades that we took yesterday, and that's going to make our job so much easier, and we can lock in great, consistent profits. So right now, team, we're just chilling like a villain. So again, you broke, you're not retesting, right? You actually have increased volume as SGBX is pulling back. That's how you know not to take those retests, right? Look at LGVN yesterday on the retest trade. It was way back here, wasn't it? Where was it? It was right here, right? The break, the retest, decreased volume, 9 EMA was there as well. That was the trade that got it going. Right there. I know it was quick. It was fast. You see the break with volume, the retest on decreased volume. This was 2 candles into prior resistance as new support. You also had the 9 EMA holding the stock up as well. And then you have the follow through. And then you have the rip, right? That's what we want to see again today. Not again today, but that's what we wanted to see on SGBX. The break with volume, the retest with decreased volume, right? What did we see? A retest with increasing volume, that's a red flag. That's one of those, you don't even look to trade those because it's not meeting the criteria that needs to be met. All right, so enjoy your day, traders, over on YouTube. Trade smart, trade safe. If that means you shut down the day, you walk away and you don't trade at all, shut down, walk away, don't trade. Come back Monday, Monday. There's going to be better action in the market, right? We'll have stocks with better press releases. We'll have some better focus and better attention in the market. So again, trade smart, trade safe, do the right thing. Again, you've been here enough to understand what you have to do behind every single trade. Get prepared to make it happen, right? If you don't see the setup, just leave, right? Don't trade the day. The last thing you want to do is end your week red and start your month red. So if you're like, man, I'm not liking the market, I just feel like I'll chase something today. I feel like I'm going to FOMO in. I feel like I'm going to make a bad trade. Shut down, walk away, and I'll see you Monday, all right? But with that being said, have an amazing weekend. Trade smart, trade safe, and I'll see you guys back here Monday morning, right around 9 o'clock as we kick off some pre-market commentary, guys. Eric, later, broski. I'll talk to you later, buddy.